Hey guys, John here with Brian. He's got his updated Burning Abyss deck profile. He's been a lot of play testing at locals and stuff, so I think this is your pretty much final build for going to the next regional, right?
Yeah, we got a regional in a month, and I'm pretty. There's only like one thing I'm changing in the side deck, but I'm pretty set on the extra or on the main and side or extra. Yeah.
All right, so let's see it.
So I've changed. It's changed a lot. That first build I had was just kind of we wanted to get it up there, but it was really just a preliminary like thing. Like I was playing a lot of like things that would make the Burning Abyss monsters go off, but they were kind of like situational and just fun because I just got the deck and I was just messing around with it to see what it could do, like enemy controller and stuff and main deck and creature swaps. Like they're good in theory, but they bricked me hard and they were fun, but I never wanted to like keep them in the main for like a serious competitive level.
All right.
So start off with the 3 tour guides. Tour guide is mandatory at 3. She's the playmaker. She sets up all your plays, gets you all your rank 3s. You need her at 3. You want to open with her. You don't want to open too many of her because you search her with Scarm, so you don't want to mill her either, but obviously, but yeah, you only really want to open one. If you open too many, it's kind of cloggy, but it's not cloggy, but it's only like you could have better like traps or spells in the hand instead of having to, because you can only use her once per turn essentially because you can't normal summon more than once.
Makes sense.
3 Graf. Graf is, I don't hate Graf, but I don't like Graf either. Graf is really good early on because he can get you to Scarm, which can get you to Tour Guide, but he's terrible in the mid to late game grind because Graf can't summon himself from the deck. He can't summon another copy of Graf, and usually mid to late game you just have you have like 1 to 2 Graf in the deck, and it's like I can't summon him off of himself, so he's just kind of sitting in the deck. So he's really good early on, but he could easily probably go to 2 when more support comes out if it's worth running. So that's a thing. Triple Scarm. Scarm is the most important one. It searches you Tour Guide. It has the best ass at 2,000. It's just the best one so far. Like searching Tour Guide's fucking broke.
Huge. It's fucking huge.
Double Seer. I cut Seer down to 2 because Seer's fucking terrible to open with. Like I hate like this thing bricks so hard when you open it and nothing else because you can't do anything because he can't summon himself from the deck. I opened Double Seer once and. Not once, but I've opened Double Seer and it's stupid. Like, summons from the grave, but you can't summon himself from the grave, and if you have nothing else in the grave, he doesn't do anything. Like, he's amazing mid to late game, but if you open with him, it's poop, and I hate it. So I cut him down to 2, and it works pretty well. I've still opened with him with only 2. This card makes me so mad, but it comes in so handy late game. And then I'm playing 2 Mathematician because this is a good alternative play if you don't get the Tour Guide, because you just summon Mathematician, dump Scarm, and then in the end phase, Scarm gets you to Tour Guide for next turn, and then if your opponent's going to probably want to play around this because they don't want to necessarily kill it and let you draw a card, so he's really good. He's just really good. I don't want to play 3 because I don't want him to clog, because if you sit on him too long, you can't summon the Burning Abyss monsters, so if you have him on the field too long, you have to go into Tour Guides to make plays, but he's still not bad. He's a good open. I like opening him, especially with Supply Squad, which I play now. And then I play 1 Chaos Sorcerer and 1 BLS. I don't like playing 2 Chaos Sorcerer just because I like having 2 boss monsters, but 3 is a little too cloggy for me because if you open these and no combos, you're kind of screwed. Like if you open this Chaos Sorcerer and Seer, you're screwed because you'll never get targets, and BLS is just BLS. So I like them both at 1 each. They go pretty good. Like they're just amazing. Like I was playing Caius in the last build, and Caius and Ryza are good. I've tested them both. They're really good, but the problem is they waste your normal summon, and these are just free inherent summons that'll do the same thing as Caius. And BLS doesn't lose the Shadow Imprisoning, so that's the monster count. It's 15, I think. Yeah.
15? So I know last time you said that like Seer was your least favorite. So are you glad that he's at 2 now and you're not running at 3?
Oh yeah,
is that huge?
It's pretty big because he's so bad to open with. Like there's nothing worse than opening him and no other monsters or no other, like if you open him and nothing else, it's awful. Like if you open him and another copy of him, you can at least make Dante and try to do something, or if you open him and like Graf, you can try to do something, but like opening just him and nothing else to get to something is just really, really bad.
Alright, makes sense.
It really is. Onto the spells, I play 3 MST in the main deck just because people are main decking Vanities. I like dealing with back row against Stellanites. Like, there's no reason. I just like main decking 3 MST in pretty much everything I play. It's just really good. I bumped up rank up magic to 3 because while playtesting this deck a lot against Shaddolls and Stellanites, I realized First turn Pleiades. Opening this in Tour Guide is really, really good. Like, I almost never lose if I open this in Tour Guide and make a first turn Pleiades with 3 material. And if I have any sort of real back row too, like, it's pretty much over already. Like, it's so huge.
Yeah, Pleiades and Phoenix Wing Wind Blast in the same turn kind of just puts your opponent
First
back
turn,
too far.
first turn Phoenix Wing and Pleiades is just, it's too real. Like, it's too much. It's really good right now, so I bumped this up to 3. It's also, it's a good discard outlet for, like, Phoenix Wing, Karma Cut, and Divine Wrath and stuff, so, because you can recycle it, so it's, at worst, if it claw, but you don't, like, opening this in Chaos Sorcerer or something, or this in no other combo sucks too, but at the same, like, it's just a risk you have to take, because if you open this in Tour Guide, it's so, like, just, it's really hard to get over. And then I'm playing 3 Supply Squads because it's just really good. Like, I can't really describe it. If you open this in Mathematician, it's just free pluses for days. Like, it's fun. In the end phase, you can pitch, if you have Mathematician or, like, something up, like Pleiades up, you can use, like, Phoenix Wing or Karma Cut or Divine Wrath and pitch, like, Graf. Graf will summon Scarm. Scarm will die. You'll get the pluses off Supply Squad, and then you'll get Tour Guide. Like, it can set up really stupid scenarios, and if your opponent doesn't respond to it, you just get so much free advantage. It's not worth it. Like, it's a bad...
much advantage.
It rewards players for, like, getting, like... It's hard to explain, but it's just... It's kind of not healthy for the game, honestly, because, like, like, if your opponent overcomes something, you shouldn't get free advantage. Like, it's kind of dumb, but at the same time, it takes up a space in your extra deck and on the field, so or not an extra deck, but in the main deck, so it's kind of not terrible, but it's just a fun card. It's too good. And then I'm playing 3 Upstart because I was bricking so hard with this deck, like, it was just ridiculous, so I just decided to cut it down to 37 and play 3 Upstart, and it's been working pretty well, although I've double Upstarted into something and still had a brick hand, so it's, I mean, brick hands are brick hands, but 3 Upstart's pretty good. I like it a lot. I side it out usually when I put in side deck cards, just because. And then I'm playing 1 Allure, 1 Foolish, and 1 Book. Allure is just good because I run a lot of darks. If I bumped up like Mathematician to 3 or something, I'd probably take this out, but yeah, it's really, it'll help you get there if you open like just Graf or something or Seer. Like, this makes opening Seer with Allure is pretty good. That's the one time I don't really complain. But yeah, Allure is...
Just to get rid of him, you don't have to deal with him again?
Yeah, like, just because, like, he's the best one early game, that's useless, because alluring and only having Graf and wasting the Graf if you don't draw into anything kind of sucks, but Allure is just really good. Foolish is just good because this also opens you Scarm, which will get you to Tour Guide, so this is really good to open with. Like, this has saved me from some dead hands, and I was like, thank God I had... Like, I looked at the hand, I was like, this is terrible, then I saw the Foolish Burial sitting in the corner, I was like, oh, wait, this is pretty good, actually. And then Book's just really good. I think it's 15 spells, too, I believe. Yeah, 15, and then I run 10 traps. The traps are 3 Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. This card's just fucking really good. Best card in the deck, honestly.
Absolutely.
Like,
it's devastating to play against.
Put your opponent back a turn.
Tell you.
It's so good. And discards and your opponent, your Burning Abyss, get their effects off. Like, so good. And then to cope with the 3 Phoenix Wing, I'm playing 2 Karma Cuts. I was playing Divine Wrath in the last build, and I like Divine Wrath a lot better, but Karma Cut's really good against the Shadal matchup, and the Shadal matchup's pretty important. So I decided, I was side decking the Karma Cuts, and I sat there and said I need the side deck room, so I can't afford to side deck these anymore, but I did not want to have them, so I said I guess I need to main deck them, and they're still good. Like, I like Divine Wrath still because it's a counter trap, but Karma Cut's still really good too, obviously, so Karma Cut's been working really well. I like it. And then 2 Breakthrough, because if you mill it with Dante, it's not bad. It's really good against Shadals because they run the artifacts most of the time. Like, it's good against artifacts. It's good against a lot of things. It's good for turning off windows or constructs. Good for it's just really good, and good for the mirror matches like Pleiades or Tour Guides or something. It's just good. And if you mill, you can discard it if you have a bad hand. It's a discard target for Karma Cut and Phoenix Wing to get it in the grave if you really have to. It's just really good in this deck. And then 3 staples, Compulse, Bottomless, and Warning. Like, Compulse is just really good right now. Warning is Warning, and Bottomless is, Bottomless isn't amazing right now, but it's not bad either, so it's like, it's at worst, like, it's just gonna get you a 1-4. Like, the only thing it's bad against, honestly, is Winda and Deltaros, so, but everything else it's good against, just to banish it. So, that's the main deck. Like I said, it's 15 monsters, 15 spells, and 10 traps. The extra deck, playing 2 Dante. If I had a third one, I'd probably play a third one just because you do make him every time, but he works fine at 2. Like, he's really good at 2. There's no reason not to. Just the extra deck king, like, he's just so good. Like, he's a really good card. Gets over Bottomless, gets over 101. Castell's his worst nightmare, but, I mean, that's something you have to deal with. But Dante is amazing. works fine at 2. One Alucard, I kind of want to bump this up to 2, but not really, because he's like the second most important thing I make in the extra deck, but I don't always even make him that much. But Alucard's really good. Granosaurus for the Volcasaurus rank up play, in case your opponent has really low life points and you want to burn him. I've actually made him and actually poked and killed the monster and did 1,000 damage too to help get the game, so that he's not terrible, but he's not like amazing either. The rank 3 pool is kind of subpar, so you don't have a lot to work with. I play Giga Brilliant just because I like Giga Brilliant. I don't know. I just like Giga Brilliant for some reason. He's not terrible. If I have to, when I change the extra deck again, eventually he'll probably be one of the things that gets cut because he's like the only thing I can actually really afford to cut. I'm playing 10 tempo because it's a fiend, so if like somebody flips Rivalry, like Rivalry is not a really big thing against this deck, but it can be if they use it at the right time, but it's not that great. Like I wouldn't recommend it, but I mean if you catch me at the wrong time, it's going to kind of suck. But I run a lot of things to deal with back row, so it's not that bad, but he's a fiend, so at worst you could go into him, and he's not terrible either. Fortune Tune, just because he's a good tank, gets you 500, like he's good in the grind game, and then he recycles Tour Guide and Scarm or something. Zen Mains, because Zen Mains is also a tank, and Zen Mains gets over Shadow Imprisoning Mirror game 2 and 3, so he's really important for that. Nightmare Shark, because it's a rank 3 Heartland Draco, so you can just go for game. Like, I like this card a lot.
How many games has that won you since you got it?
It's won me a few in testing. I haven't done it too much in... I've only won with it once in a tournament, like in real life, but in testing online, it's put in a lot of work. Like, I like trying to get to them down to 2,000 to poke for the Nightmare Shark for game. It's just an easy way to go to game. Acid Golem, I like this card a lot, just he's a good beat stick. Like, after I summon BLS, have a Dante on board, and then I'll be like, well, now I'll make Acid Golem and put a lot of damage on board.
Right.
I just put in Downer Magician. I haven't had time to test this yet. I took out Mega Equipped Angoneer because there's so many tanks in the rank 3, like Zen Mains and Fortune Tune are already enough in my opinion, so, and I've never gone into Mega Equipped Angoneer, so I took it out for a Downer Magician, which I just got recently, and to help, because I've had a lot of times where I've had Dante just sitting on the board with only, like, he was out of material, so he only had 1,000 attack, and, like, I was just poking for 1,000, and so I figured I'm going to try this out now. And then the rank ups are for Alucard, I have Bram, which is won me a game because he was at 500 life points against Shadal's, and he had Leo on field, and I was like, I can't get over this Leo and get this last damage in. I think I already went through Nightmare Shark and he killed it, and I was like, this sucks. And I sat there and I was like, oh, wait a minute, Construct doesn't target. So I made this. I made Alucard, I ranked him up into this, and then reborn their Construct from the grave and killed the Leo. And I was like, alright, and then I won. And then Volcasaurus for the Granosaurus rank up. He's good damage. I've killed the Construct and made him take 28 for game 2. Like, he's not bad. I don't make him that much, but like I don't make Bram or Volcasaurus that much, but I wouldn't want to have him not in there as options ever. And then 2 Pleiades, because I feel like you should have at least 2. If you're running 3 Dante, you should still at least have 2. Like, you should never play this at less than 2 when you have this. Like, Pleiades it'll win games. It
might be the best card in your extra deck.
No, Dante still is.
That card's pretty broke.
No, you always will. Dante, if you don't make Dante, you will lose the game. Sometimes you don't always get to rank up, but you always. If you don't make Dante at least once, you're probably not going to win the game. So yeah, but 2 Pleiades is like, Pleiades is just gross. Like I said, if you open Tour Guide and rank up and get to Pleiades first turn with 3 materials, it's probably game. And then my side deck is right now, I got 3 Blackhorns, but I'm going to replace these for Force Backs, because this is for the Stella Knight matchup, but Force Back's just good against so much other stuff, because Force Back is a counter trap that negates the normal summon or flip summon of a monster and puts it back to the owner's hand. So it's just really, really good, and I like it. Like, I don't like Stingy and Dirge that much, so right now I have 3 Blackhorns, but I'm waiting to get my Force Back, so I'll be playing those at 3.
The most important thing about Force Back is it negates the summon, so like they can't Nova or Alpha. So, Nova Alpha, whatever it's called. They're counter traps. Teleknights can't counter trap Force Back because their monster won't technically hit the board.
Yeah. Playing 3 Chain Disappearance for the Mirror and for Yang Zings, because if you Chain Disappearance the tuner for Yang Zings, they're pretty much done. Like, they're dead in the water. I saw them. One of the guys that topped with Yang Zings, like one of the only 3 people that have topped with Yang Zings, he ran all he ran in the extra deck for an Exceed was Castell. So I said if I had Chain Disappearance to his tuner, he would have lost the duel would have been over. Like, it was over. And then it's good in the mirror match because hitting Tour Guide, Scarm, pretty much any of them will really put the opponent back, but specifically Tour Guide and Scarm it'll ruin the deck. Like, I don't think there's a way to really recover from it. I'm playing 2 Malevolent Catastrophe for the It's mostly for the for Rogue and Stella Knight matchups because anything that runs a lot of back row, it's just I think it's really good against like getting rid of all that back row. Like I remember I used this on a Stella Knight player and he had 2 set and it was a Shadow Mirror and a Soul Drain. I was like I wanted to like I would have lost if I didn't have it. I was like thank God. I'm playing 3 Fusion for the Shadal matchup just because I think it's really really good because it's just a compulse for Shadals. Like
would you say what do you think your worst matchup is?
so that doesn't really have a worse. I guess Stella Knights. I think there's kind of like a triangle. I think there's a triangle for the meta right. Yeah, like Stella Knights lose kind of to Shadals because if they don't have a way to get over the Midrash.
Right.
Shadals have a hard time with Dante because we run so much things that just bounce stuff.
Right. Right.
And Dante has a hard time getting over Stella Knights because of all that back row and the rank 4. Like making Castell every turn is such a pain in the ass to deal with.
Right.
So I think there's a decent triangle going on. Like obviously it's not like that's not set in stone, but I think that's how it like is for the most part. Like when you look at it from a like just looking at it from like the outside perspective.
All right.
But yeah, I like Diffusion a lot. It's just a free compulse. Like the only thing like I don't care how much advantage or how much pluses they get when their Shadals hit the grave. If their fusions don't hit the board and do something to me, they're not winning. Like if they don't kill my Dantes with constructs or stun me with Midrash, they're not winning the game. Like I just think that's how that is in this matchup, so Diffusion's really good. And then I'm playing 2 creature swaps because I have a really, really weird obsession with losing to either Boojins because Boojins are a hard matchup for any. I feel like I just have a hard time beating Boojins, and this just takes the Yamato for free. And if I give them a Burning Abyss monster, the Burning Abyss monster will die and plus for me. But I have a really weird thing about dueling Noble Knights and them just opening up the combo and having like the rank 5 with like 5 Noble Knight arms on it and I just lose. So I like having this out. I just like creature swap. And then I'm playing 2 DD Crows for the Shadals to banish the fusion from the grave and for Stella Knights to banish the Altair targets when they summon them. So there's that. So that's pretty much the deck. Like I said, I'm just going to I'm going to take out the 3 black horns for the force packs, and that's pretty much I think what I'm going to be going with for our regionals and for the foreseeable future until this deck gets more support or something.
So do you think, I mean, realistically, do you think that this deck has a chance of staying competitive through the next set? Dealing with the new Shadal fusions, the Shadal quick play fusion, Satellarknight support, Cliff Force. Like, how do you feel that this deck is going to do rolling into the next? Because I know, like, the next set comes out, considering our next regional is still a month away, like, the next set doesn't come out too much after that, so.
Well, I mean, we have a rank up monster to get over Quill-Off Killer, so that's not that bad, but as far as like the Shadals and the giant Trunade Stella Knight is real. Like when I've played online, the only time I ever lost to Stella Knights was when they made the giant Trunade one, and I just didn't have a response because bouncing Dante is fucking really annoying to deal with.
Right.
And but Shadals like they're getting more, but I mean as long as Diffusion is still going to be valid. Like I mean if you've got like a million copies of the quick play and you're just going to quick play a bunch of times on my turn, I mean I'm going to be fucked, but I still think the Diffusion will go pretty hard because. Then you're going to have to choose which target. Like, I mean, I don't know. I'd have to see. I have no idea, honestly. I haven't tested against the Shadals with more support, so I can't really say. But we're also getting more support that we have no idea what is. So we have a really good chance. Like, this was really good support that they gave us to start with.
Is there anything specifically that you, like, absolutely want out of the new support?
There's not really anything I can think of off the top of my head that I want for the main deck support, but I would like there to be a Burning Abyss, like, beast that when he's sent to the grave, I just draw a card, like something stupid, like it's like semi, like kind of inherently like kind of OP, but not really, because I feel like if they had their like own engine for draw power like the Shadals do, they'd be really good, because then I wouldn't probably have to run like necessarily the Upstarts or something. So I think that's like, because you could go Mathematician to dump the one that draws, and you would just draw a card, and that's pretty good too. Like, that's kind of the only thing I really want from the main deck monsters. I want there to be something that gives me some sort of draw power in the archetype, and I want the Synchro to be Virgil and to be OP. I want this deck to be like tier 0.
I guess everybody wants their deck to be tier 0.
I bought this. I picked up this deck. I want it to be tier 0. Let's make it happen, Konami.
And you said you have an out to killer. Would you mind showing that real quick, just for the people that don't know? Maybe get that out there. Because I know that's something that a lot of people are afraid of. Yeah, I'm not main decking it right now, just because it's not that great, but it's just a beat stick to get over killer. This is the monster, and here's the rank up. It's a Psychic Light. Here's the rank 3, and then here's the thing you rank up. He's got 4,000 attack, so that gets over killer, but his effect is
When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls.
Oh, so he...
Your opponent's not going to attack anything, though, but like I said, he's just a good beat stick to get over killer, so that's my... I guess that's pretty much the out to killer. I mean, I think there's a few good side deck cards I think I'm going to be using against killer, like Deep Dark Trap Hole and stuff to stop the pendulum summons, but yeah, this is like the... This is the rank of out to killer to just beat over him, so...
Right, that's pretty cool. Alright, well, thanks for the profile, and thanks for watching, guys. We'll try to get more updates out there. I know someone asked for an Evil Soren profile. We had that, but it got... I lost all the photos and videos on my phone, so we're going to have to redo that one. But anyways, thanks for watching. Leave any comments you have, any questions, any thoughts moving forward, or any decks you guys would like to see profiled. John and Brian signing out.